How can you pay it forward? I'm Penny Lane. In the Driver's Seat starts now. Welcome to In the Driver's Seat, where we delve into the lives of extraordinary individuals who drive their industries forward. In this episode, we meet the powerhouses driving a social enterprise, driving ex-offenders to start fresh. Joining me now is Rob Brown and Simon Fenech from Fruit to Work. Hello there.
Hi, Penny.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming on the show. Now, I've known you two for a very long time and fully support what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about how Fruit to Work got started.
Well, the genesis of it was two young guys who were doing the Foundation for Young Australians. And one of them was a prison psychologist and obviously noticed that the same people were reappearing every 6 months and came up with the idea of creating an organisation that would employ ex-offenders or people with lived experience of the justice system. And that was probably as far as they got it. Well, they got it to the point of a concept, but no further. And I happened to be volunteering for White Lion at the time, and they appeared with the idea. So I convinced White Lion to bring it into the charity, which we did for 2 years. But the reality is that social enterprise and conventional charities are two different things. And it's one's no right and one's no wrong, they're just different. And it became clear that the charity didn't have the appetite for running a business like Fruit to Work. So we lifted it out of Fruit to Work, we lifted it out of White Lion, and I set it up independently as a not-for-profit social enterprise, and it's now a registered charity as well, which was about 6 or 7 years ago now. And luckily it's continued to grow ever since.
It really has. It's gone from strength to strength, hasn't it? And why did you bring Simon in as a general manager?
Well, he never started as a general manager. He's actually started as one of the first driver that we hired. And he was one of the first people that we came across who had lived the experience of the justice system. And he'll tell you himself how the opportunity came about. But he'd lived the experience of the justice system. He needed a job, we needed a driver, and that was 8 years ago actually. He joined us as a driver, then became the leading hand, then became a team leader, then became the ops guy, and he's now the general manager and sits on the board of directors.
Yeah, amazing success story, Simon. Tell us a little bit about your journey, because I know that you've had a colourful past, which you could say.
I have had a colourful past, Penny. My life wasn't a life that I had dreamt of for myself, but basically, I was your typical family man with two beautiful children, a big double-storey home. I got injured in a workplace accident. The doctors gave me a heap of medications. I started substituting the medications for methamphetamines. Yeah. My habit went from $100 a day to $1,000 a day. Wow. I started dealing drugs to pay for my habit. I was shot and I was stabbed. Whilst using drugs, I'd lost a lot of family. I'd lost my father, mother, brother and daughter in a short period of time. And before too long, I ended up in jail. Yeah. Now, jail was where I deserved to be because I was doing the right thing. I have no qualms with that. But going through jail was an eye-opener, Sitting in a 3x2 metre cell and getting fed through a little slot in the door was a huge eye-opener for me.
Yeah, not a nice place to be. How long was you in prison for?
I was 12 months. I did 12 months in prison.
12 months. And so what changed for you when you were in there? How did you turn your life around?
It wasn't too hard to want change,
right.
But change isn't easy even in jail because there are plenty of drugs in jail, legal or illegal. But I wanted to get back to the person I was before my accident. I wanted to get back to that family man. Yes. And I used jail as an opportunity to rehabilitate myself.
Yeah, and how did you meet Rob when you came out? How did that happen?
Well, that's a story in itself. I was very desperate when I came home from prison. Nobody would give me a job. I was hungry and going to churches for food parcels. Right. And that went on for about 12 months. Every time I applied for a job and they saw I had a criminal record, I would never hear back. Going back to my old life would have been very easy. Going back to dealing drugs or going back to crime would have been very easy. But I didn't want to end up dead.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get my kids back in my life. I wanted to be a member of society again. So I went and saw my caseworker at corrections one day and said, I'm desperate, you know, I don't know what else to do. I can't get a job for the life of me. And she reaches into the trash can and she pulled out a flyer.
Out of the bin?
Yeah, out of the bin.
Gosh.
And it was from Fruit to Work.
Wow.
So I applied for a job, got the job. I met this crazy man, and that's 8 years later. The megalomaniac on a mission has taken me to heights that I had never expected for myself.
Yeah, I know Rob has been a real mentor for you, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah, you really are an amazing man, Rob. So tell us about Fruit to Work, how it operates.
Well, I mean, it operates like any commercial business. So our business effectively delivers fruit and milk and tea and coffee and all that other stuff to any workplace. And I mean any workplace. So it ranges from...
We get it here at Ticker.
You do. It ranges from a donger at a building site to Westpac Bank or to the Royal Children's Hospital. So we've got 1,700 customers in Victoria.
That's amazing.
And it works quite simply by a process like any other commercial business. So we take customer orders, we pick and pack to that order, we deliver them, and we invoice you for it, just like any other delivery business. And we've been doing that for 8 years now. And so we've got 1,700 customers. We're probably shifting about 50,000 pieces of fruit a week. And this year we'll deliver over 6 million litres of milk.
Wow, that's phenomenal. And how many people have come through Fruit to Work?
So there's 150 odds have transitioned through. Because we're a transitional employer, we don't plan and we don't design our model to employ people forever. So we've transitioned 150 people back into society as returning citizens, as we refer to them.
And how many of those have been back to prison?
None.
Well done.
Not one.
And we currently employ 137.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that zero recidivism sounds like a throwaway comment, but the reality is there's no other organisation in the world in our space who's achieved that.
That is absolutely phenomenal. And how much money that saved taxpayers as well? How much do you reckon that would be?
So it depends which number you use, right? If you use the government's number, it's probably about 30 million, right? If you use the right number, as I would call it, right, it's probably 75 million. So $75 million saving to the taxpayer, and we don't have any government funding. We're completely
self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was in a nail bar not long ago, and there was a beautiful girl in there getting her nails done, and I didn't recognise her from being at Fruit to Work, and it was one of the girls that had been through the programme. She recognised me, and we were chatting, and she looked amazing.
Wow.
She looked like $1 million. So going through that Fruit to Work programme has really changed her life. She really looked like a supermodel.
And it's not only her life, Penny. It would be her family's life. If she had children, it'd be her children's lives.
Yeah.
So the ripple effect of what we do is huge.
Yeah, it really is. And you've been recognised, Simon, as one of the 100 most inspiring men in this. Tell us what it was. Is it like Cleo Bachelor of the Year?
It was the Qantas actually. It was. I was recognised as one of the 100 most inspiring people in Australia by Qantas magazine.
That's fantastic.
And all because somebody gave me a chance and opened a door for me. You know, people can open doors for you, but you must make those moves yourself. You must have that want yourself.
Yeah, you really do. You can get things by chance, but you don't keep them by chance.
Correct.
Oh, he's inspiring and I'm perspiring.
We might need subtitles, guys. Rob is from Glasgow. Now, Rob, you're doing recycling as well now. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we set up another charity, another business actually called Recycle for Change, which is part of the container deposit scheme run by the Victorian government. And when we originally thought of it, it was 2.5 years ago, we thought it would just be the same as Fruit to Work. But what we realised as we got closer to it is that there was a huge population who come out of the prison system that we were not able to employ, and that's primarily women and young people.
Oh, really?
Because,
why?
Well, Fruit to Work, you start work at 2 in the morning, and if you're a primary carer, then it's almost impossible to start work at 2 in the morning and still look after whoever you're looking after. And young people typically either don't have a license or have their license taken from them.
Yeah.
So they couldn't drive a truck, obviously. So there was this exclusion. It was a subconscious exclusion, wasn't it? So when we got the opportunity to create Recycle for Change, we said, well, let's create this model that then allows us to employ more women and young people. Right? And the way we do that is that we've got completely flexible roster systems. So if somebody needs to pick up their kid from school or drop their kid off at school or whatever that happened to do, then our system works around that. We made sure the 2 depots were close to public transport, so that people don't have to be able to drive to get there. And if you take our North Geelong site, which opened in November last year, it's already processed 8 million containers, which is impressive in its own right. But what's more impressive is that that's actually generated $800,000 worth of income for marginalised people in Geelong.
Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe the time has gone like that. We're out of time. And it's gone far too quick. We've got so many more questions for you, but I know I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah.
But if you could give, this is to both of you, if you could give one piece of advice to someone that's struggling to change their circumstances, what would it be?
For me, after 5 suicide attempts, I would say never give up, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Right? So one day at a time, never give up.
Yeah, that's good advice. What about you, Rob?
I think for me, it's as simple as if somebody gives you a chance, take it.
Yeah.
Because if I had not taken the chance when I was brought up in Glasgow and doing what I was doing, I certainly wouldn't be sitting here, and I certainly would have had the opportunity to help the people that we help. So if somebody offers you a chance, take it.
Yeah, thank you so much. 2 very good friends of mine, and I'm an ambassador for Fruit to Work as well. Really, really inspiring people. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Penny.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In the Driver's Seat is brought to you by the Perfect Cosmetics Company. Join me next time to learn from more industry legends about how you can take the wheel and steer your life in the right direction. This is Ticker, and we'll be right back.
You're watching Ticker. We'll have more in just a few minutes.